Tony Pearson versus Chris Bumstead. What a matchup we have for you guys today. This was actually a fan-requested Friday matchup or a You Pick Tuesday request that I got a long time ago. And it has been sitting on the back burner. So I thought, why not do this one today to celebrate how awesome not only Chris Bumstead is. He's good. Men's Classic Physique Division competitor, or champion, current. But this Tony Pearson is a living, breathing legend. I'm here to tell you, and I just seen him on a podcast with Dennis James, Milos Sarcev, and Chris Cormier. Those three of my favorite studs of all time. And Tony Pearson, four of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. You know I was watching that one. Let's go through these shots. And if anything, this is just to celebrate, like I said, how cool Tony Pearson is. He's beating Bumstead in this front double. You know he is. He was known for that vacuum shot. Probably one of the first vacuums I've seen. Of course, we all seen Frank Zane's. But this guy here competed at a couple of Olympias back in 84 and 85. He just competed, a couple of years ago. He started competing back in 76. 76? Look at the arms on him. Better than Bumstead's. Bumstead's got a good structure here. Not really judging this one. Just a fanboy over Tony Pearson. Just incredible. Here's the front lat spread. Now look at this. Tony Pearson is unbelievable. Keep in mind how good Chris Bumstead is, and Tony right there with him. He would have been Classic Physique champion. The guy just competed 2 years ago. He was 63. Still in great shape. Here's another shot. No, this is not him today. But he's still in pretty good shape. I'll show a picture at the very end. Show you a picture of the very end of Tony. The most recent one anyway. And keep in mind, guys, this guy was on the Olympia stage back in 84, 85. Did not get very good placings. Politics. There was a lot of names back then. I'd say he's doing pretty good against Bumstead out of both of the front shots, which is crazy when you think about it. Turn to the side of this Michael Jackson lookalike. That's right, guys. He was a Michael Jackson lookalike. Watch his posing routines, things of that nature, and you'll probably agree. I've done it before. I don't think you guys like my MJ impression. No, I am Peter Pan. Well, either which way. Can't knock the music. Billie Jean. Here's the side tricep. And Tony, back in the day, was one of the first bodybuilders to be ripped. And I mean shredded. And if you don't agree with me, you probably will after we see some of there's only a very limited back shots, but I mean, we have enough, I think, to go on. Look at the midsection. Just diced. Bumstead looks good. And I'm not being mean to Bum. I'm sure if he was watching this one, he'd be more interested in Tony Pearson and that podcast. Dennis James, Milos Sarcev, and Chris Cormier, all of them. They were basically like me with a today's legend or yesterday's legend. They were like, Tony. They were all saying his name. Tony. Remember this? Tony. Hilarious. So to those guys, the guys that we all look up to, the Milos Sarcev and Dennis James, Chris Cormier, all three of those guys, they all look up to Tony Pearson. And of course, I do too. Just incredible. Turn around for the back shots, and this is where Tony got his name. So it wasn't his front, it was the back. They said his back lat was stuff of legend. His lats reached all the way down, like below his glutes, for goodness sakes. Below his glutes. That's crazy. Very low set of lats and very limited photos. This is a blurry shot. Could not tell condition, not even one time. Bumstead, smaller back. Of course, we can see that he is peeled. Here's the rear double. And this is what I was talking about, guys. And if you don't know what I'm saying, I'm sure you know what I'm saying here. I mean, look at how ripped his Christmas tree is. Sing! You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not going to do it again. The guy was shredded. So for the early 80s, the guy competed as far back as the late 70s. You telling me this was not revolutionary conditioning? I mean, come on. No, he wasn't the biggest horse in the stable. What was that? Stable. Wasn't the biggest horse in the stable, but he was the most shredded. Here's the abs and thigh. And this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. You could do a whole Bumstead matchup and not even mention Bumstead. And probably not too many people are going to care. Because they are overwhelmed, much like myself, with the beauty, flow, proportions, and the amount of muscle on this Tony Pearson midsection. The smallest midsection coupled with the widest shoulders, that's what he always had in mind. And this abs and thigh, I just did a match with Milos Sarcev. I said he probably had one of the most underrated abs and thighs. Well, I take it back. Take it back. Oh, I could get a copyright from Stallone there. Yeah. Tony Pearson. He's got one of the best abs and thighs. Period. And here we're looking at a most muscular, I guess. It's a similar form-fitting pose. This one does accentuate that wide clavicle delts of Tony Pearson. Just incredible. Separation. I mean, the guy is shredded to the bone. So is Bumstead. And I'll be honest, Bumstead, I mean, he's probably winning in the thin skin, the things of that nature. But for the 80s, guys, we have to bow down to this great, imposing figure. And here's a crab position. Look at the neck on the guy. Looks like it's going to pop right out like an alien. Look at that. Premium genetics. We know, he was able to go the long run, the long haul, the distance. Still built. Guys like him, Robbie Robinson. Incredible. There was more that competed, Boyer Co., another one. I can't think of any more right off the top of my head, but I promise you, there's a lot of them. But none, I don't think, that were so competitive at 63. Guy was 63, still competing. Robbie Robinson, of course, he was probably still pretty jacked too, but not competing. I think Tony Pearson, the oldest legend, anyway, that still competed at that age. I'm sure there was some dudes that nobody would know who they are. We all know who Tony Pearson is, one of the best legends of all time. And he gets a moral victory over Chris Bumstead here because, well, we all like him. And Chris Bumstead would vote for him, too. Everybody likes Tony Pearson. And, hey, he deserves it. He was a great guy, a great ambassador. Helped people when they could, didn't bring people down, brought them up. And I guess that's what bodybuilding is all about. If you're going to mentor somebody, train them, things of that nature. You don't want to bring them down. You don't want to bring them down. Bring them up. Anyway, take that up and hit thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, please, guys, if you have not already. Have a great one.